Hello people, how's it doing today? Today I'm here talking about Cavan and Monaghan. It has been hugely neglected, along with every part of Ireland, including the west of Ireland, has been hugely neglected by this, is bus routes from main towns and main cities into rural urban towns. Towns like Ballyconnor and County Cavan hasn't got bus Éireann buses going through it as much as they used to. And that's affecting tourism, and that's affecting people moving. Because you think about it, if you have transport, there'd be more people coming to the town, they'd be more likely to come instead of... If there was a tourist come from America, let's say America, some tourists came from Boston, got off in Dublin, came to Cavan on the 109 bus to Cavan town, and I was like, I want to go to Ballyconnor, looks like a nice town. Wait a second, there's no bus, how am I supposed to get out there? Cost maybe 90 or 100 euro for a taxi to get out there. Why would I pay that? And that's where the problem starts. The government needs to understand that there's other places outside Dublin. I understand, I know Dublin is a big urban area, a big, huge, vast area with a ton of population and all that. I understand why there's trains and trams and everything around Dublin, but the whole country needs transport too. And if Ireland wants to meet the climate change predictions that this country has to reach, you think about it, one bus Éireann bus going to a town could say with 30 seats on it would save 30 people going in the car. Let's just say for sakes of the video, let's just say there was 30 people, 30 seats in the bus, and there was 30 people. That'll save the car journey, and that'll save people's money too, because diesel and petrol has gone up a ton, and it would save a lot of money for people, and it would give the state a tiny bit extra resources, extra funding to run buses, and generally would help people a lot and help the towns out a lot. And it doesn't take a lot to give. Bus Éireann is in bankruptcy. It's in half bankruptcy now, but it doesn't take a lot. It's not a lot of money to run a bus from Cavan town, say to Bayable or to Black Lion or the Swan and Bar. I know there's private buses going, but beyond it should be the public networks, Bus Éireann is the only public service, but under the Department of Transport that's given funding from the Department of Transport. The Department of Transport, Shane Ross, I spoke to him many times about local leaks and all that for Cavan. I was one of the people who got 3 or 4 local leaks on the road for Cavan because of my persuasiveness and my absolutely saying that I'm not standing for it and I would get something out of this. And I did, and we did, and it wasn't me, it was loads of other people too in Cavan and Monaghan that done it, including Minister Heather Humphreys done it. She was a very active person in that. But just to say, there's only so much local link buses that could go to every town. The state needs to step in, the Department of Transport needs to be like, right, we want to meet this climate change area, that we won't let fossil fuels into the atmosphere. You think about it, 5 or 6 cars on the road, use diesel oil, you're burning diesel and oil, and the smoke coming out the back of the cars. You think about it. If you had a bus, there'd be only one thing on the road. Wouldn't be 5 or 6 things. One thing on the road, and I have to apologise for that notification because it always likes coming on when I'm doing something, and that's great. Sorry, I had to. My apologies. I had to do it. I couldn't. I stopped and had to continue it. But I just wanted to say to the Department of Transport, every part of Ireland, even apart from Dublin, Cork, and maybe there's big cities in Ireland, even all along the west coast of Ireland, but I'm talking about in Cavan and Monaghan, we need huge infrastructure and public transport. And one thing I want to put on the record, there was trains in Cavan back in the 1800s, and there's no trains in Cavan, not even one train in Cavan now, and there were locomotive trains. The Cavan to Leitrim Railway, they used to go through loads of parts of Cavan from Dublin too. They used to link up into from Dublin into Cavan, and then Cavan into Leitrim, and that was a huge thing. And I don't know why the state back in the 1950s thought it was a good idea to get rid of it. I understand now it would probably be a tiny bit costly with the track maintained and all that, but it was tracks. People used it. That's what I mean. People used it. They give the state loads of income. Because I look back and from 1903 to 1926, it gives the Irish state, the Irish Free State at the time, and the British government a bit of money too. And it gives them over, I think it was over I don't know what was the value, I think it was pounds, so I don't know, it's estimates vary because the Irish Free State was given control after the 1922. And that estimates vary. For the British government on from 1903 to probably the Ireland declaring and the Ireland getting the Dominion status was £1 billion at that time. And that was a lot. That was during that time from Cavan to Dublin and then to Leitrim. That was a lot of money. And if you think about it now, there'd be a lot more people, there's more money in the economy, there's more young people who want to travel, go to discos, do this, that, the other, another. But, you know, they help basically people go to work. People who, because I wouldn't mind, a train ticket's not that much. And it would help a lot. But I'm saying to the minister, and I will send an email to Shane Moss. I spoke to Shane Moss many times. And I would give out about his photo problem of Katie Taylor too, obviously. Because he was in every photo of Katie Taylor. But I would tell him that it means we need some kind of thing, some permanent transport thing that will last for 500 or 600 years. Let's put it that way. Like, it will last a long time. It'll be there forever until the day I die. It'll be there. Maybe we might get something, maybe we mightn't. But we have to try, you know. And I want to say this to anybody. If you're in walking distance, like say if you're here, your workplace is here, and you walk in, you have to walk to there. Please, do something for your environment. And just walk. It's healthy for you. It's healthy on the lungs and everything. Anyway, I'm just moving around like I don't know what. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe more. Let me know what you think. I know some people from Donegal and everything would say they need a huge investment in public transport. And I agree. And I really do agree. Like, there's places in the middle of nowhere in Donegal that need some kind of transport link. I know some places in Donegal have local lakes, which I'm very happy to hear. But there's towns being abandoned, and there's small villages being abandoned. And we cannot let that happen. Anyway, thank you for watching, subscribe more.